Well, back in January of 2026, I did a series of videos on COVID. At the time, I didn't really understand why I felt called to bring all that up again 4 months ago. It's been 6 years now since COVID happened. And I felt called back then to talk about it, to remember it, to bring it back up again, to question why don't we talk about this? Because that was a big thing that happened. I mean, that changed a lot of things. It was a big thing that happened to all of us collectively. Everyone equally was affected the same. So yes, months and months and months ago, I'm thinking about this COVID thing. And I talk about how I was affected by it, what I saw, how people responded and reacted. Just kind of a personal rundown of it all. And I always thought the thing was real fucking squirrely. Real fucking weird. But, I've always been a kid, especially in my teenage years, to not go along with what everybody is doing, to question, right? And I don't think I ever outgrew that. And so when the call came that day in March of 2020 to go out, get supplies, and hunker down for 2 weeks and don't work and stay home, and everybody just dropped everything and did it, whether you wanted to do it or not. Yeah, that was tough for me. That was tough for me. There's people out there who know what I'm talking about, who saw how tough it was for me. But recently, just recently, just within the past few days, I'm thinking about the COVID days again. I'm thinking that I might be connecting some dots now. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I have lived all of my life staying out of politics, the drama as much as I can. But I feel like I'm much more aware now by choice. Because I think we really need to be aware, to some degree, to start connecting the dots. And it doesn't really take a genius to gather information critically think and start putting the pieces together when you see patterns. So you may say, Chandra, what are you talking about? You're crazy. What are you talking about? Get to the point. Okay. COVID. Well, who was president when that all started? Well, Donald Trump was president. Remember, he became president in 2016. So he was president 2020. Well, what else happened in 2020? Oh, it was the presidential election. Remember? That was coming up in 2020. November. Remember? Could it be that a person would cultivate something, create some sort of drama or distraction, because the elections were coming up? I didn't think about that then. I wasn't really into politics back then. I wasn't really thinking like that. I was thinking that it was all really fucked up. Wondering what was going on. Why we were all going along with something. With the masks. With the staying the 6 feet apart. Not going out. Remember, it was just going to be 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. You know, to flatten the curve. And those vaccines that people got. Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that it wasn't real and that it didn't happen. It certainly was something, and something did happen. People did get sick and people did die. But Donald Trump was the president, and the presidential election was coming up. So, what are we doing now? It's not COVID. It's not some disease from China. I do believe if you go back and you watch my videos I had mentioned that I wouldn't be surprised if something similar to those days happened again. Not necessarily in the same way, but in a different way. So now we're in a war, right? Or they don't want to call it a war. They want to say it's a military operation, right? That there was some sort of threat that they had to stop. This might be a far stretch as far as comparisons go with COVID and World War Trump that is going on. That started in February of this year. And what is coming up in November of this year? Well, it's midterm elections. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. Could it be that a person would sink so low as to start a war to gain power and respect before the midterm elections? Could it be that a person could sink so low to disrupt the election process? Could it be that 6 years ago, COVID was possibly a distraction in a way for somebody to sink so low to not allow votes to get out, people to be sick, possibly die? And an overall distraction of fear. To possibly look like the hero, to make it all better before the November elections in 2020. Could it be? You know, I'm no conspiracy theorist. You know, I've just been around for a while, and I've been awake for a while, And I've been paying attention for a while and connecting the dots and seeing the patterns. You know, if this could be the truth, man, we're in a world of hurt. We're fucked. Yeah, maybe we're not sick with some Chinese disease or some virus, but we sure are feeling the pinch economically, financially. Well, think I think that's why I was reminded months ago about COVID again. Something to look at again and question again and remember again and ask why. And that feels like a long time ago. But 6 years later, with the same president in office now, who was in office then, look at the drama, the war, the costs. The sides, right and left, right and wrong. Do you think it's coincidence? I think once you see, you can't unsee. And they don't want people to see. But they're getting sloppy. And it's all becoming quite clear. Yeah. So, who would have thought I would be recapping COVID 19 videos from months ago, but here I am today, coming back to it again, thinking on it again, connecting the dots, seeing the patterns, questioning. I don't know where we go from here, but I am more aware now. So, take care, be safe, and have a peaceful day.